What's up, everybody? Welcome in to Group Chat Football Live. I'm Peter Ariz, and this is our daily show where we talk recruiting, national transfer news, coaching news, and today we have a commitment here coming up any moment here. It's at 2 p.m., supposed to be here at 2 p.m., but Bill Belichick on the verge of potentially landing another commitment here. Madrid Tucker, 3-star athlete out of Fort Myers, Florida. The finalists for this recruitment today are North Carolina and West Virginia. And this is a guy who's a very, very talented athlete. Again, we'll be bringing you guys his announcement live here as soon as he starts his stream. I was messaging him earlier, and he's going to be going live on Instagram. So you don't have to go anywhere to find it. I'm going to stream it directly here through this live. I know we have a lot of North Carolina fans on this stream, West Virginia fans as well. You guys have been great to us on our page. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as we wait here for the announcement of 3-star athlete Madrid Tucker. And we're going to just set the table, give you guys an idea of the sort of athlete and talent that this is. And first off, I'll pull up his recruiting page, his 247 page, and so you guys get a good idea overall of what we're looking at here. Madrid Tucker, obviously, it's signing day for the 2025 class, so he's someone who will be on campus here over the summer at whichever program he chooses. From Fort Myers, Florida, they're on the west coast of Florida. I'm down here in South Florida in Miami. So Fort Myers, a couple hours away on the west coast there. And as you see here, 247 Sports has him as a 3-star 85 rating, the number 213 player in the state of Florida. And the composite has him as the number 262 player in the state of Florida. I think he was unranked on a couple other sites, but I'll pull up his film here in just a second. And he's fast. According to his Twitter, has a 4.40 flat laser 40 time, which would be, really impressive. And kind of burying the lead here, but this is a guy who is a 2-sport athlete, baseball player. His father played in the majors for 12 years. Michael Tucker was the 10th pick of the 1992 draft, played for the Braves, was drafted by Kansas City. So this is a guy who's a big-time baseball prospect. He's going to want to play baseball at the next level here. And West Virginia has a great program. Obviously, North Carolina and the ACC does as well, but West Virginia just had a shortstop pick top 10 here in the Major League draft last year. So that's the position he plays. He's a shortstop. So West Virginia potentially has a nice draw there in terms of baseball, but UNC's baseball program, tremendous as well. But that's just something to keep in mind here. So Madrid Tucker, again, 3-star athlete from Fort Myers. We will be bringing you his commitment announcement live here as he goes live. And I'm going to bring you guys, or show you guys, I should say, his highlights here from Huddle. Let me pull them up. And you can see the sort of speed that we're talking about here. And it's not just speed, it's the ball skills, right? So you'll see him play all over the field here. But here he is right away in the slot. Nice catch. Pulls it in with one hand, secures it as he comes to the ground. But you're going to see him here in traffic between 3 people, go up and get the ball, playing a little wildcat quarterback, fakes the pitch, and then you see the speed here as he gets to the outside. So would be a really nice pickup, as I'm going to just let these highlights continue to roll here and make sure I'm not missing his live stream starting. But Bill Belichick and North Carolina have been, look at that catch right there. Look at him track it down. They've been adding speed through this recruiting cycle. Obviously, West Virginia with Rich Rod, the way that he's able to get athletes the ball in space. You see Madrid Tucker there snatch the ball and take it all the way to the house. So we're seeing a lot of offensive highlights here again. At wildcat quarterback, taking the sweep to the left side and then turning on the jets, and then boom, finishing, showing you the power as well. So he's a guy who's listed at 5'10", 110, 165. So putting the weight on, that should be something that it'll come naturally as he gets in the college weight room program, but something to keep an eye on. I think getting stronger will be priority number one for him when he steps on campus. And then his ability as a returner here, as you'll start to see some of these clips as well. Bill Belichick, his love for special teams play. And I keep saying Bill Belichick. Obviously, he hasn't decided yet. He's West Virginia and North Carolina are the two finalists here as we wait for Madrid Tucker to start his stream here. And he told me that he would be putting it on Instagram. So I'm going to bring that to you guys live here as we watch his highlights. And then you see him now defensively coming up in the run game as a safety, taking the handoff as a running back out of the shotgun, making a guy miss in the open field. This is a versatile player. Who knows what position he's going to play at the next level. I think he's someone you need to get the ball in his hands because he's that sort of dynamic athlete. And I'm going to actually guess as soon as this is up, I'm going to show you guys some of his clips baseball wise. It was just some like 30-second, 40-second clip from YouTube I found of him at a baseball tournament. But here it is again as a returner, Madrid Tucker. Where will he go? As you see him turn on the Jets here, getting up the sideline. Let me continue to keep my tabs on things over here as we await the live announcement for Madrid Tucker down to West Virginia UNC. And again, you see this guy's tape. He was unranked on a few other sites. 247 has him as, like we said, the number 230th, 260th composite, which means all of them together athlete in Florida. I find that hard to believe. I really find that hard to believe. And let me find the baseball clips here. So again, this is to go. But middle infielders, you see his functional athleticism there defensively. Again, and appreciate Canes Cats Heat 305. Let me know what you see here, man. Canes Cats Heat 305. I know you're a baseball guy, but you see Madrid at shortstop here, and you see him with a hit there. So a guy who's going to play at the next level, baseball. This is part of his decision. And I'm going to read you guys a quote of his real quick. Let me find it. So this was from the news press in Cape Coral, I should say, sorry. We were talking about Matt Corral on the show yesterday, but he said regarding this decision, both West Virginia and UNC stood out because they made everything seamless. The coaches were aligned, fully on board, and made me feel at home from the start. Their commitment in both football and baseball was clear, and having the opportunity to compete at a high level in both sports was a major factor. The baseball coaches of both schools also felt like a great fit, reinforcing that these were the right places to grow as a dual sport athlete. So very focused on the baseball side of things. As Canes Cats C305 says, if you play any of those middle infield spots, you are athletic. 100%. I mean, that's always been the case, but these athletes in baseball nowadays, the hand-eye coordination needed there. And that's what I was saying in these football highlights that I was just playing. And let me see if I can get more of them here, because that was his highlights from last year. Let me see if I can get his junior highlights, but it was the ball skills, man. It was the way that he was high pointing the football. It was the one-handed grabs. He was tipping it to himself, and that's all hand-eye coordination. That's why I say probably offense, but dude, defensively, you saw the physicality that he was playing with, and I was really impressed with what I saw. Just on the huddle clips there. But we're waiting here to get Madrid Tucker, his announcement live. I was communicating with him earlier today. He's going to be streaming it on his Instagram. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm excited for that. And I know North Carolina fans, you guys have been excited about what Coach Belichick has done recruiting-wise. This class was in the 70s, which, you know, with Mac Brown's situation and the way the season went, not crazy that they were in the 70s, but he's now got this class up to 32nd in the country. So, you know, it's one of those things where you want to finish strong today. And a lot of guys from a body type standpoint, from a speed standpoint, that you can see what they're bringing to the table, to the roster. And this would be another guy who fits that bill, dual sport athlete. We talked about the two lacrosse, or I should say 3 lacrosse players, but 2 that Coach Belichick for this class just added to the roster. And he's getting crafty with the way that he's bringing guys to the table, right? Well, you understand you're not going to have your pick of the litter of recruits now in terms of the high 4-star, 5-star blue chip players. So go find athletes. You got to unearth some frames out there, some guys who maybe were newer to the sport. A Gary Merrill. I'll pull up some stuff here as we were talking about him on the show earlier this week. The Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of New York, and he plays quarterback. He's more of an athlete, but man, this is a guy who was a really impressive athlete and was a 5-star as a lacrosse player. So, and I'm pulling up some stuff here, but yeah, 5-star. You see the numbers here: almost 1,800 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, 2,000 rushing yards, and 32 rushing touchdowns. So this is a guy who we'll see what sort of role he plays. I don't know if it'll be as a quarterback or as a running back, slot receiver, but really good athlete. Going to be playing lacrosse there as well. And then Cruz Smith for the 2026 class, a running back out of Iona Prep in New York, was another one. And then Jermaine Anderson, who to me is a really intriguing one, a linebacker with some real coverage skills, 6'2", about 200 pounds, a top 50 lacrosse recruit. So good athlete, length, special teams guy to me for sure. But very interesting to see the sort of athletes that Coach Belichick has been recruiting. And we're waiting here. Again, appreciate everyone who's on the live stream. Madrid Tucker, Fort Myers High School, is going to be announcing his commitment today to either West Virginia or North Carolina. And let me pull up the graphic here real quick. But you see it. West Virginia, North Carolina, and he's going to be playing baseball, man. So this is a big decision for him. 2 great baseball programs. West Virginia, new coach this year, but a program that has been on the rise, doing good things in the Big 12. They won the Big 12 in 2023 in baseball, and then North Carolina all around, as we always know, tremendous, academics there and athletics seem to always be such a well-rounded school. Doesn't mean they're always elite in football, but trying to get there, here with Coach Belichick. And it's been fun to watch the way that everyone's gotten behind the program here as we await Madrid Tucker, waiting to get his live stream going here, as should be an interesting decision for him between West Virginia and North Carolina. Guys, get in the comments, questions, anything you want to know, and I'll try to answer it as best as I can here as we continue to wait for Madrid Tucker and his decision. Again, I don't know the last time one of these announcements were on time, right? So that's these high school kids, and not only to their fault, but the logistics and the planning and the scheduling for all of these things. So we'll be hanging out here until then. Let's see if any other commitments have happened across the country here. As I do that, though, I'm going to pull up some Gary Merrill highlights, who's the lacrosse player I was just telling you about, 5-star lacrosse player, Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of New York. So I'll let the ad load here real quick. And again, we're here. We're waiting for Madrid Tucker. So if you're in here for that, we're waiting for him. We will bring you that stream as soon as it happens live. And we're talking Carolina. We'll get more into West Virginia as well here in a bit, because I feel like I haven't given the Mountaineers any love. And yeah, could it be I don't want to call it a surprise, but I think there has been some speculation that Tucker has been leaning towards Carolina. So could it be a little bit of a surprise? But here's Gary Merrill. And this is a guy who is coming in as a dual sport lacrosse and football player, 5-star lacrosse player, Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of New York. And people are bouncing off of him. You see his ability as a runner. Not sure that he can throw, but I think maybe some packages would probably be better served for him. But I'm never gonna count anything out when it comes to Belichick and the ideas that he has for a lot of these different guys. And we actually have breaking news here on Group Chat Football Live. We are here for the Madrid Tucker announcement, but this is our daily live show where we talk about transfer news across the country, recruiting news. So it's signing day. Like, again, I feel like I bury the lead. It's signing day. We all know it doesn't feel the same without, it's not like the old days. Most of the big time prospects are signed in December, but you have a lot of interesting prospects still out there, like a Madrid Tucker who may have fallen through the cracks here and, has the decision here between North Carolina and West Virginia. And then you have, there's still always going to be some elite guys out there available. And Zahir Mathis has committed to Maryland over Florida State. 6'6", 230. I'll pull up his huddle here in just a second. But this is a guy who was previously committed to Ohio State and someone who has the frame that you're looking for. It's 6'6", 230. I'll pull up his huddle now in just a moment. But man, this is a guy who has, as you'll see here, 13-minute highlights. He's from Philly, Emotep Charter High School. So there's a 13-minute highlight just to give you an idea. And he's playing both sides of the ball, D-end, tight end. And Rage, yes, he's offered to play both sports at North Carolina, talking about Madrid Tucker. And this is, if you're just joining us right now, we're waiting for Madrid Tucker for that live stream. I was messaging him earlier today. He's going to be going live on his Instagram. I'm going to stream his Instagram here, so you don't need to go anywhere to find his announcement. As soon as he starts it, we will be right there. But we just had a commitment here from Zahir Mathis out of Philadelphia, and he committed to Maryland. And you see his tape here. There's a 13-minute highlight. Obviously, we're not going to play the entire thing, but you see him coming off the edge, and it's the frame on this guy and you see the bend, the burst. Once he gets in a college weight room, it's going to be scary with him. So Zahir Mathis, let me tell you, between Mathis, Zion Ely, who's committed to Maryland, one of the top players in the country for next year, Maryland, in terms of the pass rushing department, looking really, really good. And this is, again, a guy who was committed to Ohio State. So you'd have to imagine that he sees a real opportunity at Maryland to get on the field early and, probably got a nice NIL package as well. So Zahir Mathis, nice pickup for Maryland there. And it looks like Madrid Tucker is live. So I'm going to bring it on live, guys. Madrid Tucker is going to be making his announcement here.
So I'm going to just start. I'm going to go alphabetical. That's kind of the way I do things. I was always at the back end, so I got to talk toward the end. But I'm going to talk about each young man, let them talk. Then eventually I'll wrap it up and we'll do the important thing for the signs and a lot of the photos and enjoy the rest of the day. I'm going to start with Tommy Halvern, who went to the U.S. Air Force Academy. Known Tommy forever, known the family forever. You know, forever is just one day short of infinity. But this young man came to us, was a basketball player. Didn't really, football was just maybe. It was a maybe to me the first time I met him. I try not to be very persuasive, but I kind of twisted his arm a little bit and said, give it a try. Don't know where your body's going. Give it a try. And very thankful that he did. Tommy was one of our captains. Tommy did a lot in this high school.
Guys, I'm aware the audio isn't great, by the way, from the coach talking or whoever speaking, but we'll, hopefully when he speaks, we can get a better audio. This is straight from his Instagram.
But just congratulating the kind of kid that's up here on the stage today. And I watched Tommy grow. He's always been a little tall, but we filled him out a little bit. And I knew that he had a future in whether he would have done something in basketball. I'm sure he would have. But he listened to kind of just my plea for giving it a shot. And then he liked it. If he wouldn't have liked it, we would have been one and done, as we call it. But I'm thankful for him. I've been fortunate to have a few kids go to the academies. And it's a wonderful potential opportunity. It takes a special kid and
So it looks like that froze there. Let me see if I can get it back up.
Liked it. If he wouldn't have liked it, we would have been one and done, as we call it. But I'm thankful for him. I've been fortunate to have a few kids go to the academies, and it's a wonderful potential opportunity. It takes a special kid and a
Are you serious? Next, I'd like to thank all my friends and family for all the love and support that they give me. And last, I want to thank all my coaches and all my teammates for 4 great seasons here at Fort Myers High School. I love you all.
Give it back to Coach Sam.
A little shorter than I thought, but he did a wonderful job. You know, I was kidding. If we get 30 seconds, we're usually pretty happy. Next young man, again, going back to the theme, I actually went to high school with this young man's father, played with us here at Fort Myers High. I've known this young man, you know, thinking about it, but couldn't understand the value to us in what he did. Very rarely do you get a kid. I mean, you know, from the day he walked on campus, 4 years, I don't have to worry about any kick. I don't have to worry about a punt. I don't have to worry about a kick. Takes a load off the coach. So I wasn't going to bend. I made Steve think, you know, and he was on the same wavelength. But Vaughn was such a good athlete, as evident by his track prowess, but just could not take the opportunity. So this young man is at the banquet the other night. You know, we had a set of accolades. I let everybody know that Vaughn has broken many county and Fort Myers High records. He's a 3-time All-American in his position. Kicking is different in recruiting, and we've gone through it 2 years firsthand. He probably has 50 schools, and I'm being modest, Division I schools that want him to kick for him. But the models in kicking are different. You have to, and it's more complicated this year with new legislation. But through the process, you know, he did everything he could in his way. And there's 15 coaches that have called me this week asking me if he's still interested. My answer back is, what do you have to bring to the party? So it's a complicated process, but at the end of the day, I think things happen for good reason. He has an opportunity to go to the highest in education, going to Princeton and the Ivy League.
Again, guys, I know the audio is not great, but hopefully when it's his time to announce, Madrid Tucker's time to announce, he gets the mic and it's right in front of the camera. So we'll see what happens here. We're winding down. West Virginia, North Carolina. Who will it be for Madrid Tucker?
At the end of the day, in hindsight, they're very happy they made this decision. So, Vaughn is going to, like I said, that's the perfect model of the student athlete is multiple sport athlete, and obviously the highest level of student, and he's going to take his talents to the Ivy League to Princeton University. Vaughn,
I just want to first thank God, my family, my coaches. I couldn't be alone. Thank you.
Such a con. This says I'm getting him off the fucking stage. Good job, ball.
y'all can get out here fairly quick. They're going to just follow
Don't say food, Jay.
follow the same script.
Nah, bro.
Last young man, I got to get out from the balloon here.
His ass.
Going back to the same idea. I coached his older brother. We went on to play at Appalachian State, finished up as a graduate student at FAU. I feel like this coach his sister. He was around where she got their tax. But I've known him forever. But I saw what Greg when he's just a little guy coming out to watch the lawn and follow his progress through his sports. And he does a bunch of them too, obviously motion football and baseball. But it's not easy. It's not easy being, the sibling of somebody that I had such high regard for. Because for him, hey, I'm not going to get home if I'm badly getting. Now, some of it I kind of play on. He got called along for about 2 years. I told him he was forgetful, which I was sometimes. But, just one of those things. It was kind of that little, that's your older brother now. He would have done it this way. And he went on to make his own mark. He's one of the, and I say this very, very confident. He's one of the best athletes. I've been blessed to coach a lot of great athletes. Over the time I've been here, coaching against a lot of great athletes. And he's always the most kids that I've ever seen play. And that's a tribute to him. He's going to get bigger and stronger. He's growing like a weed. I knew he was growing last year because he kept saying the bottom of his knee hurt. And I would smile at him. What are you smiling for? I said, because you got growth disease. You got a big slaughter. So now he's getting tall. He's this guy's going to be the list.
They said go to LSU.
But every day he practices, every day he always does something that is trying to keep little out. So I really believe
He's still going, cuz. He's still talking.
and he's going today to tell you where he's going. I'm not going to break the news. I might have some inside information, but this is his day, and I'm going to turn it over to Madrid Tucker.
How do you want? When I say it, just pull it out. All right. So first and foremost, I would like to give praise to the man above for giving me the ability to wake up every morning and take a step forward towards my goals every day, putting me through the hard times and the good times, the trials and tribulations. It made me into the man I am today. I'd like to give a special thanks to my mom, my dad, my sister, and my brother. I love you guys. They pushed me to the limits I never knew I could get to. I knew coming into the life that I would have a big shoe to fill. With them encouraging me and pushing me made it easier for everyone. I'd like to thank my coaches, starting with my coaches. Coach Travis, I know you're not here, but you definitely gave me the spark in my life that I needed. Coach Sam and the Fort Myers football staff, including the baseball staff, for always supporting me and pushing me and believing in me. Without all my coaches, I wouldn't be where I am now. As my mom always says, it takes a village. I appreciate you all. I'd like to thank Coach Crone, who took on my baseball team and still remained supportive and helping me push forward through a difficult career. I'm still here playing baseball, by the way. And this is off script. I would also like to give a special shout out to GBG. If you know, you know. Love y'all. And I'd also like to give a special thanks to Frank Lennon, his dad. There's one person that couldn't make it. You know, he's up with his mom right now, but I would also call him my brother, Frank. I love you, bro. I wish you was here. I know you couldn't make it, but keep doing big things, and I love you. But with that being said, I'll be taking my talents, football and baseball, to the University of North Carolina.
There you have it. Madrid Tucker going to play for the Tar Heels and Bill Belichick. Look at this. Congratulations to Carolina fans out there. Madrid Tucker, this is a good one. Let's see if he's going to say anything else. He's still going live here.
Yeah.
But Madrid Tucker, man. This is a good. He says he's not talking anymore. Congratulations to Madrid Tucker. And man, that's a good pickup there for North Carolina. And again, if you're just joining the show, Madrid Tucker, 3-star athlete, dual sport athlete, and he's headed to North Carolina. Baseball player, football player. He's a guy whose father played 12 years in the majors. Michael Tucker was the 10th pick of the 1992 draft. And Bill Belichick with a nice pickup here, as I'm going to pull up his highlights again for you guys. But this is someone who is a dynamic talent. On his Twitter page says he is a 4.40 laser 40 time, and that's absolutely flying, right? So you'll see the ball skills here in just a second when I pull up his highlights. But this is a big-time playmaker. You added Shenard Clower the other day from Lakeland, who's another speedster from Florida. So really good work here by Mike Lombardi, Bill Belichick, getting into the state of Florida, finding some guys under the radar. State of Florida, this always happens. Guys who are, for whatever reason, maybe playing another position, they didn't blossom until this year. And I think two guys who, once they're in the right weight room, weight program, nutrition program, it's going to take off for them. And you see the ball skills there. You see the one-handed catch down the field there for Madrid Tucker. You see him going up in traffic here between three bodies and coming down with the reception. Wildcat quarterback here, gets upfield. You see the speed. And he's about 165 pounds is what he's listed at. But as you heard Coach say there in his little speech, this is someone who's still growing. What a play there! What an adjustment to the ball. We'll see another one here. This is a really nice one. Looks like an outfielder diving to make a catch. And he's a shortstop. He's a middle infielder. Really good athlete. Quick hands. You see him getting deep here, snatching it, and then getting upfield. Man, the burst is there. Really love this pickup for Bill Belichick. And his staff. Again, not really sure why this guy was rated as unranked on most sites. 3-star, okay, I get a 3-star, that's fine, whatever. But the number 213 athlete, or number 213 player in the state of Florida and number 152nd athlete in the country, I don't know. This is a guy who's a high-level baseball player. You see the speed, you see the return ability here. So without a doubt, someone who, again, maybe not immediately, but once he gets that weight on, someone who I think Bill Belichick and his staff are gonna be able to find a way to get him the football. You see the return game here again. I think he's someone you need to get the football to because of this dynamic open field ability, right? But defensively, this is not a guy who's soft by any stretch. Physicality was showing. He was, the twitchiness is there. You see him coming downhill against the run. To be a willing tackler as a safety against the run tells me a lot. He could have just sat back there and let the linebackers or the defensive linemen make the play, but he got downhill and attacked it. You see him taking the hand off the sweep here. So big pickup here for North Carolina and Bill Belichick. Madrid Tucker. I think this is, an absolute steal of a find here for Belichick and Lombardi. And I don't think it's any surprise that Rich Rod in West Virginia also wanted him very badly. And Rich Rod, a guy who knows how to get his weapons the ball in space, and I think would have done the same thing with Madrid Tucker. But here again, kickoff return, punt return, line him up as a running back, line him up as a wide receiver, line him up as a slot receiver. He's doing it in every which way here. So huge fan of this pickup for North Carolina. When Bill Belichick took over, this was a class that was ranked in the 70s. Okay. So now looking at where it's ranked, and let me pull it up here real quick. This is a class now. It says 32nd on 247, but let's see when it gets updated if there's going to be anything there. And to me, this is one of the better ones that they've gotten here down the stretch. So huge get for Bill Belichick and staff. Madrid Tucker. Let me see if there's a commitment edit out there. And doesn't look like there is an actual commitment edit out yet, but you see it here from inside Carolina. And we just saw it live here. Dynamic Florida receiver Madrid Tucker selects North Carolina. So looks like they're expecting him to play receiver. I think that's the right call. Get him the ball and let him go to work. But between him and Shenard Clower, who, again, let me bring up his tape real quick, but someone who recently committed from Lakeland, Florida. This is a player that I think North Carolina fans should be very, very excited about. Played defensive back really up until this season, where his high school coach, who's Lakeland, Florida, an absolute powerhouse of a program in terms of producing talent. And his high school coach said this is the closest thing to Tyreek Hill in high school football. So the track times don't necessarily match that for whatever reason, but you watch what you just watched now with Madrid Tucker, and now you are going to watch what I'm showing you here with Clower. Takes the slant and boom. I mean, just, you're not catching him in the open field. You see the meeting in the end zone there, but again, gadget plays, tosses, sweeps. This speed is going to be dynamic if you're North Carolina offensively. Freddie Kitchens at offensive coordinator is got to be licking his chops right now between that last tape we saw and then Clower here is a returner as well. So going to be a nice competition between these guys, and then of course some of the other guys that they've brought in and are on roster. But should be fun, man. If you're a North Carolina fan, this speed coming to your roster, coming to your lineup is a welcome addition. So big get for North Carolina today. Madrid Tucker joins the class. Appreciate everyone for joining this stream today. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for all content regarding North Carolina football, Bill Belichick and what he's building there, and then national college football news. We will bring you guys the latest updates. We go live daily here on Group Chat Football Live. Appreciate you joining us today. See you tomorrow.